On the program today, the General. No, not Mark Sharon. I'm talking about Major General John T. Crowe. Out of Visalia, he's retired. We're going to talk to him about his family, his military career, and about the latest developments in Afghanistan with President Obama flying in. We'll talk about the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and even North Korea. That's General John T. Crowe coming up next here on Connect with Me.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And welcome back to the program. I'm John Malice. You are watching Connect with Me on this Wednesday morning here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Today on the program, it's General John T. Crowe, a retired general out of Visalia. He's going to be talking to us about his family, his friends, his military career, and also that secret mission into Afghanistan by President Obama. Of course, a day or so ago, he addressed the troops, he addressed the nation live from Afghanistan, and he also talked about the cooperation in the future between Afghanistan and the United States and us pulling our troops out by 2012, yet having a military presence there until 2024. Well, the general's been around a long time. He entered the military in 1960, active duty in 1962, and then in 1964, he left active duty, became a practicing attorney. Well, we're going to talk to him about mainly military issues and some of the events that have happened in his life the past few months. We'll talk about the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and even North Korea. That's General John T. Crowe coming up next in just a minute or so here on Connect with Me.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Whirlpool Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. Check this out. Right now, get huge savings on select Whirlpool appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Do you like me?
Just like me.
Like Me TV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
Welcome back to Connect with Me. I'm John Mallows here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. As mentioned, our guest today is General John T. Crowe. He's retired. He's from Visalia. A lot to talk about, so let's get right to it. General Crowe, thank you for being with us here on Connect with Me. It's good to see you.
My pleasure. Good seeing you, John.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So let's get right to the conversation. You are a retired general.
A major general retired, that's correct.
All right. And you've been retired for how many years?
Oh, it's been...
Should I ask?
It's been just over 10 years, John.
Just over 10 years. And do you miss being active full-time in the military?
Absolutely.
Why?
I know of no one who retires from the military who doesn't miss it. It's the people. The ties that you make in the military, folks who are serving with you, all of whom have the same objectives that you have. The Army's a family. I have a good friend who retired as a Major General, Army Reserve officer, retired as a Major General and as a Vice President of Boeing Aircraft within the same year. He regards himself as a retired Army officer, not a retired aircraft manufacturer, because Boeing was 9 to 5 and the Army is 24/7. It's a family.
You love the military, don't
Absolutely,
you?
yes.
In what regard? I mean, you said it's like a family, but what other aspects of the military do you like so much, and do you love about it?
Oh, I like the challenges. I like the variety. I like serving the country. There's a satisfaction in doing something that you know is worthwhile.
And when you did serve, were you proud to serve? Did you feel like you were serving your country?
Absolutely. No question about it.
Each and every day?
Each and every day.
So you like having a routine. You have a routine in the military. Talk about that for a couple of minutes, if you will. The routine in the military is you get up in the morning, you do the same thing you did the day before and the day before that, right?
Well, that's not really true. You get up in the morning every day, but you've got different types of training and different missions every day.
Okay.
No 2 days are alike. It may be true in basic training that the hours are very rigid every day, but each day you're training on some other subject.
So the schedule isn't as rigid as we might think.
That's correct.
Okay. I never did serve, but I came that close to going to Vietnam. That's when they brought in the voluntary draft, of course, and
Right.
I guess you could say I lucked out, and maybe a lot of people did, but you are still very much active, even though you're not an active member of the military. Let's take you back to September of 2011. That was just a few months ago, last year, of course. We're going to take a look at a series of photos here. There they are right there. It's the tomb of the unknown soldier in France. Go ahead and talk about this series of photos that we're going to see, John.
I had the very great privilege in September of escorting an 86-year-old veteran of the Battle of the Bulge back to the place where he earned a Distinguished Service Cross. The story, what we did in Belgium, is another story. That's fascinating. But on the way back, we came through Paris, and we wanted to visit the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is beneath the Arc de Triomphe. And they have a ceremony there every evening. We wanted to attend that. We got there early so that Al and his wife, the Battle of the Bulge veteran, his wife, could get some seating. And they surprised us by saying, "You're doing the ceremony tonight," recognizing Al's service.
Yeah, we didn't even see all the photos
So
there. Okay, there they are again.
We laid the wreath below the tomb. We saluted the fallen in this picture. We renewed the flame. Al is the gentleman in the black jacket, second from the right. And then we had the opportunity to review the troops and to sign the book that everyone who does that ceremony signs. Here we're reviewing the troops at the end. It was a striking indication of the French respect for what Al had done on December 19th, 1944, that they permitted us to do this.
So it was a rare occasion.
A very rare occasion. We had French people who couldn't believe that we'd done that because it simply isn't done by someone other than a Frenchman who has served in combat.
Mm-hmm. How many days were you in France for that?
We were in France 3 days after the events in Belgium. We were in Belgium for 4 days.
Yeah, and you think back to 1944, way before I was born, but Battle of the Bulge.
Yep.
Very famous battle, as everybody knows, and very emotional day for you back in September?
Absolutely. We went to the place where, as I say, Al had earned that Distinguished Service Cross.
Mm-hmm.
The Belgian government was dedicating a plaque to his unit, which won 2 Distinguished Service Crosses, 4 Silver Stars, and a host of other decorations in one day in stopping the German offensive at that point. There were over a dozen people at the ceremony who had been there on the day of the event.
In 1944.
In 1944, and so they were out to thank him for what he'd done then, and it was a very emotional day. And then we got to visit the places where his action had taken place, and again, very, very welcoming, very emotional.
Right. All right. Another series of photos that we're going to look at is your family. All
Okay.
right. That's your first family, is your real family, your wife and
That's
your
right.
daughter. The military is your second family, but let's take a look
That's
at some of
correct.
those
Okay.
photos now as we take a look at your wife, Marina, as well, your daughter, Erin, at a very young age, and there you are at a very young age as well.
Yeah, I'm a brand new second lieutenant there, just leaving for Europe. That's my wife, Marina, whom I met while on active duty in Greece. Still
Very
beautiful.
pretty and very striking and very pretty today as
Yeah,
well. And
and
what
that's-
year was that photo right there? There's your daughter,
Well,
Erin.
that's our daughter Erin on the left. She was about maybe 1 year old, so that picture was taken 29 years ago. And there I'm in my last headquarters, the 311th Corps Support Command at that headquarters in Los Angeles. I believe that picture was taken.
All right.
Now you're going backwards because I'm a colonel in that picture, and so that's 10 years before the last one. If you could just make my life...
This one here is about 1988, right?
That's right.
And this one here is about 1968, 67?
Not quite that far back, but it's probably 75 or so.
Wait till you see the face on this photo as we pan up. That's you back in the 60s. And what was your rank at that time?
I was a major at that point.
So what's going through your mind as you go back in time and look at those photos?
Wish I were that young again. I wouldn't change much, but it'd be fun to do it over.
All right, it's time to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about, of course, President Obama being in Afghanistan. You'll give us some thoughts about North Korea, Iran. We'll touch on all the hot topics of the military and what's going on today. And we'll also take a look at more photos. We're talking with General John T. Crowe, retired out of Visalia. We'll continue our conversation live here on Comcast. You're watching Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Today is Ask the Expert Day here on Connect with Me. I'm John Mallows, your host on MeTV Fresno. We're talking with General John T. Crowe, of course, retired out of Visalia and a practicing attorney. And John, good to see you. Let's go through another series of photos that you brought along with us. Military decorations. How important, as we take a look at these photos, are the military decorations in terms of importance to the individual who's serving?
Well, they're very important to the individual who's serving because it indicates that you recognize what he or she has done, and it demonstrates to others in the unit that good work is recognized. This is a retirement ceremony at which the gentleman on the right is retiring from the COSCOM. That great big brass dish was a COSCOM tradition for our senior staff. This is a Department of the Army civilian who is also being decorated. There are military decorations for civilians for her work with the COSCOM. This is a San Francisco police officer. She was also in the Army Reserve. She's graduating from the police academy, and I went to that graduation for her. And this is a uniform many of our audience haven't seen. That's the Army mess dress uniform. Here I'm in an aircraft flying on an ammunition mission from Oklahoma to Texas. We call that the TWA, Teeny Weeny Airlines.
Gotcha. Totally understood. What year was that last photo taken?
That was taken in about 1992.
Yeah. It wasn't all that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
That's right. You had darker hair then, but so what?
And more of it, yeah.
That's right. Let's get to the news of the day, and that is President Obama flies to Afghanistan in this secret mission, of course, and he announces that they have a big partnership with Afghanistan, and the U.S. troops are going to be pulling out by 2014. Is the president telegraphing his punches to the world that we're going to pull out in 2 years?
Well, that telegraphing really was done a year or more ago. We've clearly made it clear he's clearly made it clear when we're getting out. That does give the enemy an opportunity to wait until. But in this case, it was probably prudent to do that because that also tells the Afghan government that they've got to step up to the plate. The one thing that was significant yesterday was the indication that there's now a 10-year support agreement, terms not particularly specified, but that does say we're not simply pulling stakes and leaving in entirety in 2014.
Yeah, we're there until 2024.
Correct.
In some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form. And that will include the efforts against the Taliban or Al-Qaeda. It will include training for the Afghan forces, and that will probably be a fairly significant number. They'll not be regarded as combat troops. They'll be regarded as trainers and support personnel, but we're going to have people there.
Now, I know you're not a politician, you're a military guy, but I get the sense it's an election year. Do you think the president is playing politics with this issue of being in Afghanistan and pulling out just to try to get reelected?
I think he's doing what he promised to do. You can certainly look at it and say the timing was convenient for political purposes, but I think it would have been done regardless.
10 years of fighting for us, the United States and Afghanistan. In the last 3 years, according to the president, the Taliban's momentum has been broken, yet we got reports that just overnight, shortly after the president left Afghanistan, there was a bomb that blew up, killed 6 civilians. The Taliban has claimed responsibility for that. So how much have we broken the Taliban? How strong are they? How weak are they at this point?
Well, draw a distinction. We have broken al-Qaeda. The Taliban is a different animal.
Right.
And that is still
They're
very
two
much
separate organizations,
That's
we know,
correct.
but they work in concert at times.
They have worked in concert
Yes.
at times. Al-Qaeda is clearly weakened to the point of being not very effectual right now. The Taliban is going to continue to be effectual and may or may not be a part of the Afghan government. They had a show of force. The events that happened after the president's visit was an attempt to say, we're still here, but that certainly doesn't mean that they control the country.
Right, and 20 of the top 30 leaders of al-Qaeda have been eliminated,
Correct.
so to speak, in the last 3 years or so, including Osama bin Laden, of
Right.
course. How weak is al-Qaeda right now, in your estimation?
Well, it's fairly weak right now. The key leadership is important because not only is that the charismatic leader, as Osama bin Laden was, it's the fundraisers, it's the troops that manage all of al-Qaeda's efforts. And you've seen very little done by al-Qaeda in the past 10 years.
Well, al-Qaeda right now, how capable are they, if at all, of producing another big strike on the mainland of this country, similar to 9/11? Are they capable of doing that right now?
I don't think they have the funding or the organization to do that right now. If they did, it would be a stroke of luck.
It would be less spectacular than 9/11, if they did anything?
Well, their effort would always be to do something that is spectacular. I don't think they've got the ability to do that right now.
Because they're not well organized, or what?
It's a combination of organization. The key leadership has been taken out. It's funding, because there aren't the funds there to finance
Right.
these kinds of operations. That has an effect on morale. It doesn't have an effect on what they'd like to do, but it has an effect on their ability. On top of that, we have vastly improved our ability to interdict, understand, and stop these things. Our intelligence network and our interaction between all of the federal agencies that work on counterterrorism is light years ahead of what it was in 2011.
Right, and of course you're talking about the CIA, the FBI, Homeland Security, the military, Pentagon. All these agencies are working in concert now.
That's right. On
Yeah.
September 11th, they weren't talking.
Yeah.
They literally were each
Yeah.
their own island.
Now they're sharing information.
They're sharing information
Right.
regularly.
Right. All right, General John T. Crowe retired out of Visalia. We're going to continue our conversation with him in just a moment, but time to sell a product here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. I'm John Malos, and you're watching Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno and Comcast 187. Back in a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Frigidaire Gallery Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. You with me? Right now get huge savings on select Frigidaire Gallery appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months at the hometown low price think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Don't you ever hit me again!
Chief, I think we got a hit on our hands.
MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Whirlpool Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. Check this out. Right now get huge savings on select Whirlpool appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months At the hometown low price think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Warning! Warning! Danger! Danger! A strange world is on Me TV.
A world somehow like ours, but of incredible darkness and fear.
What is the show called?
It has been called many different names by many different cultures.
Oh, I know. It's called Lost in Space. Saturday at 8, 7 Central on Me TV.
And welcome back with Connect with Me here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV, here with Hector Coronado. And good morning to you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great today.
Good. It's good to see this oven here, a KitchenAid version. Tell us a little bit about it, Hector.
This is a 30-inch KitchenAid double oven. This is actually a double oven. And
what does that mean, a double oven? We open this up and look at it.
Sure. When you have a double oven, actually there's an oven below it, and then this is your upper oven. So when you've got that big family gathering, those holidays come in, sometimes you've got to do your main dish in there, and then you've got your baking down below. So so
we can cook in here and down below.
Exactly. This might be a little bit low for our viewers to see, but it's great when you have two ovens like that. So when you've got that big family get-together, it's a great unit to have. It's really easy to work with.
All right. And it's a convection oven, right?
Exactly. When you have convection, that means you have a fan in the back with a hidden heat element around it. So what that does is when the upper and the lower heat elements come to that point where it's preheated, then they turn off, and then the back one is running with the fan blowing through. So that keeps what's called even heat cooking.
All right, so that way you don't burn your food.
Exactly. Your breads will stay nice and moist, and your meat will always be juicy, so you'll never have that dry, meat or bread. It's always going to be just right.
Is it possible to still burn your food in the convection oven, or pretty hard to do?
Yeah, that would be pretty hard to do with your selected easy convert. I mean, there's no way you can mess that up.
Yeah, and you've got the easy push button levers here.
Exactly. It's an easy panel to use. You have your upper and your lower, and just depending if you're going to bake, broil, then it's all ready to go.
Any other great features about this, Hector?
There's also your it's your soil level timer. So when your oven is dirty, it's not going to sit there and get clean for 2 hours. It just depending on how dirty it is, it's going to use just that time needed to clean that oven out.
One of the things I noticed, no heating elements that I see here that are visible. Is that right?
Yeah, they're actually hidden heating elements, and what that means to you is that you're able to get in there and clean. It makes it a lot easier to clean when it's time to clean, so you don't have these elements in the way when it's time to clean your unit out. If you're like a manual clean, it doesn't get in the way.
And the price?
The price on this unit, the normal price on this unit is $25.99. Our special everyday buy is $16.99, but right now for our Connect Me viewers, we're doing this at $599.97.
$599.97. That's a great price. How does that compare to the others?
The other stores out there, similar models are about $2,500 to $2,600. We're at $16.99, and for our viewers out there, we're doing this at $599.97.
Good through noon tomorrow for our Connect with Me viewers at $599. I mean, that's a savings of thousands of dollars. Well, not thousands, but hundreds of dollars.
It's about a $1,900 difference compared to what everybody's out there at. I mean, it's an awesome buy. Right. You just can't beat that.
All right, Hector, it's amazing. $599. Good through tomorrow here with our Connect with Me viewers. Thank you, Hector, very much. How do you get to Ventura TV? It's very easy. We're off the 41, just 10 minutes from River Park. And if you're coming from Clovis, you hit the 168. We're another 10 minutes. And from 99, you can hit us on both directions. Just get off on Tulare, and we're just right off of Ventura Avenue, 3619 East Ventura. Back with more of our conversation with General John T. Crowe, retired out of Visalia, in just a moment.
I'm Lou Grant. Mary asked me to do a promo for Me TV.
You want to see me, Lou?
Not now, Ted. Watch me on...
Danish donuts?
I said not now, Ted. Watch me on Me TV.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
Watch Mary Tyler Moore. I'll fire you.
Me TV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Meow.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back with more of Connect with Me. I'm John Mallows. This is General John T. Crowe from Visalia. Let's continue our conversation about Afghanistan if we could, General. And the president claimed last night that the U.S. has helped build strong Afghan forces and will continue to do so. We kind of touched on that earlier. Is that possible to build a force of 350,000 Afghan soldiers, make that force strong enough to protect their own country even after we leave in 2014?
It's possible with help. And the reason I say with help is you can train troops, or police for that matter, but the senior leadership takes more time, and the support and logistics takes time and effort. The transportation, the equipping, the coordination, the intelligence. We're going to have to help with that because they don't have those capabilities yet.
And according to the president, we're going to help with security, economics, and governance. So that's an added burden for us even after we leave.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so he said that the president did that his administration has been in contact with the Taliban to be participating in keeping the country safe. Is that possible?
Hopefully. You can't say positively that it is, but the effort's being made, and that's a prudent effort.
Yeah, I mean, considering the Taliban claimed responsibility for the overnight explosions that killed 6 people, it's hard to believe.
That's true, but the Taliban isn't a large monolithic entity. There are varieties of Taliban, if you will. Afghanistan has always had a series of warlords and smaller entities, almost a feudal system, and so within the Taliban there are many different elements.
What role can Pakistan play in this, or should they just mind their own business?
It would be easy to say that Pakistan should mind its own business, but Pakistan regards Afghanistan as its business for a whole host of historic reasons. They are going to be involved, and they're going to have to be involved in any peace talks and any efforts to quiet the unrest within Afghanistan, because it won't work without them.
Yeah, Hamid Karzai of Afghanistan has a big job ahead of him. There's no question about it. Let's move on quickly to North Korea. Of course, last month they tested that rocket that they want eventually to be able to carry a nuclear warhead. It failed. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We saw the news reports about it. Do you think the U.S. had a hand in foiling that effort in North Korea?
I doubt that we had a hand in making that rocket fail. I think it largely failed because of the North Koreans' general lack of competence in some of their hardware. They've had hardware failures over many years in a whole series of things. They've still been selling some of their rockets, but they have not all been top of the line as we would think of it, equipment.
Do you think it's more incompetence than it is our involvement then?
I think it is more lack of competence than our involvement, the failure of that rocket.
Right, and let's hope that they don't get a nuclear warhead to be able to launch and put on that rocket. And let's hope any further testing, I hope they're unsuccessful. I mean, imagine if North Korea got something like that.
Yeah, they have 2 steps to get there. The first one is making a warhead small enough to fit, and the second one is a rocket that is reliable that can carry it.
All right, General John T. Crowe, Major General John T. Crowe, retired out of Visalia. Appreciate your time. We're out of time. We got to go. We're going to be back tomorrow here on Connect with Me. It's Entertainment Thursday. I'll see you then. Have a great day.
Want more of me?
Me?
Go to MeTVFresno.com for schedules, information on your favorite shows, videos, pictures, and more. Go to MeTVFresno.com today. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.